simplest part. Knowing about your candidate is the easiest part. And then when you go vote, you are voting for someone who's actually going to make a difference. But how are people going to vote this year? The voting is different than before.
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, we have mail-in voting. That's safe and secure. We can, I think ballots go out this week. I just got actually an email that my ballot will be sent out within a week or 7 to 10 days. I'm really excited about that. But make sure you put it in the security envelope. Make sure both envelopes are there, that it's filled out completely. We'll have instructions on our website soon. We're on our Facebook, and you can vote that way, or you can go to the polling place. Just, please wear your mask, bring your own pen, keep a safe distance, because we want everybody to vote, but also we want everybody to stay healthy.
But this year is not a one ticket vote.
You can vote, yeah. You don't have to vote. There's no straight party this year. So if I am a candidate that may be a Republican who votes for President Trump goes down, they can still vote for myself on the as a Democratic candidate. So no straight party voting this year. Pick your candidates, get to know your candidates, and vote what your heart tells you, vote what your spirit tells you when you go in there, because we do need that healing very soon here and everywhere, really.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And that brings us to the first part of your discussion earlier. I know you touched on healthcare briefly, and you talked about LGBTQ, and you gave an example. Also talked about the environment. If I just coming in to listen to you, what do I want to take out from this? I want to know about Nicole, and I want to know why I should vote for Nicole, and what is her campaign is all about in maybe 10 minutes. What would you say to that?
I would say that for so long we've watched as people have taken a back seat to political figures, and it's time to bring the people of our communities to the forefront. So yes, I am an advocate for LGBTQIA plus youth and people. I'm an advocate for people in general. Our veterans, where's their seat at the table? Our representative is a Marine, I believe, and with my sister being Marine, I was taught that you don't leave your people behind as a Marine. And I've talked to a lot of veterans in this area that feel left behind. No one's listening to them either. So we need to take care of our vets. We need to take care of our elderly. Again, people on fixed incomes with medications that aren't afforded, but their lives they can't afford, or they're cutting in half. These are life-saving medications that these people need. Fair funding, trauma-informed schools, education is top of my list for me. Unions, organized labor. Without organized labor, we see our people getting taken advantage of in the workplace. That's what built our middle class. We need those unions. We need the collective bargaining in order to have our voices be heard in, the workplace. Raising minimum wage, closing the gender gap in wages. There's so many things that need addressed right now, and they're all things that I am learning every day about and how we can fix. And how do we end the trauma that we have really seen in our area, in our country, in the Commonwealth? It just one thing leads into the other. Our criminal justice system. Why do we have people dying in prison instead of home with their families if they don't need to be there? Why are we one of the only states that offer that hand down life without parole sentences to juveniles? There are so many things that need to be addressed, and they're all on my heart. They're all in my mind because they all kind of come together. It's just It just all comes together. We have 70% of our kids in the juvenile justice system struggling with an undiagnosed or untreated mental health impairment. What can we do for those families just by getting those resources in there? What can we get for families that are struggling to find those resources, and how can we support them? And then also the families that are supporting our veterans that are coming back, coming home with PTSD and living with this every day and sometimes don't want to live. How do we support the family units? How do we support our communities as a whole and build the Commonwealth, or continue to build the Commonwealth into what we need for everybody in it? There are so many things that need to be addressed, so many things that are important to me. I think I've touched on many of them now. So schools, the environment, the criminal justice system, juvenile justice system, healthcare. I say, when do we stop looking into all of those things? We can't stop. We have to keep going, and we have to start pulling it apart piece by piece and see how nuanced they all are and what can be done. Student loans for higher education, building, trade schools, and really community colleges. Why shouldn't our kids decide where they want to go after high school, what path they want to take, and then have those, resources available where they don't have to come out of school in debt and pretty much have a mortgage? How do we make it better for all generations and all parties? And I am open to hearing anybody's input about any of that or any of these things. When do we stop giving these tax breaks? When did the top 1% start to pay their fair share as well? That's really what it comes down to. It's not a handout. It's being a good neighbor. It's being a compassionate person. And how much is it how much do we need? I mean, if you have your kids, if you have your family members and your loved ones and they're alive and they're well, and even if they're struggling, if you have them, we have all that we need, because that's all that matters. That's really it. People, their lives, and taking care of the people that we represent, whether it's in Senate as president or, in the Pennsylvania State House. And everybody has different experiences, and I can't wait to hear more of the experiences in our community and make sure everybody feels that they have a voice at the table and that they matter. They matter when walking into that Capitol, that they know they will be heard, and that Nick Miller will sit and listen to them and talk to them. And, we can get through this. We can get through this, and we can help all of it, little by little. So I think I gave you a billion different things that I'm interested in. I find it all quite fascinating. I never thought I would be in this position or run for this spot, because who would ever vote for just a mom? But you know what? Being a mom taught me the most important lessons that I could have ever learned in my 44 years of existence, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
And you know what? I am sure that so many, not just moms and women out there, but so many people will relate to everything you just said. And I see and I hear the passion, and that's why I am so passionate and happy and proud that you are going to represent me and represent my kids, because I can truly feel that you are going to make a difference. And I hope everyone watching us now or going to watch us later, you guys can feel the same passion and the same sincerity from Nicole, and know that she's not going to just be another name sitting in a chair doing things that doesn't matter to us. She will be someone who is going to truly represent us, and give her the chance. In 2 years, if she doesn't do the job right, we have another election. Exercise your rights, vote her out, or vote her in again for another term, or vote her for Congress or something. and I can see you going places, and I know you are you're laughing right now and saying, "Oh my God, this is let's just take it one step at a time." But that's how how much I believe in you, and I hope everyone listening to us right now can believe in Nicole Miller as well as I do, and do your research. I am not just saying listen to my words and go vote. That's nothing. We will never ask you to do that blindly. You have to learn about your candidate, and that's why she's here. She's talking from her heart and talking about issues that matters to her. And like you said, there's so many issues. The main thing is, to me, is uh, that you are not going to just work. You're a Democrat, but you are not going to turn anyone away because they're independent or they're Republican. This is what leadership looks like. No matter what party nominates you or brought you to the seat, you are here for the people in the 87th district, and that's one thing people need to know and to make sure of. um, you mentioned a lot of stuff about healing. You talked about how we need to heal, and I think that's what we need. I don't know about you, everyone out there, but we truly need someone compassionate. We need a human that is going to bring us back. And I am so sad that we are discussing the same issue that women fought for 100 years ago. How do you feel about that, and how do you feel about losing the notorious RBG and a seat, and all of this craziness? How do you feel about that?
It's frustrating. We don't move. We don't move. We're supposed to be like one of the leading countries, right? Here we are, and
Yeah.
we don't move. There's no growth. Losing RBG, you know, I think I was in shock and just like at first. And then I thought about it and I'm like, she did her time. She worked hard. She deserves to rest in peace. And you know what? She has passed off her fire to us. And it's time for us to take over and fight like she did. And fight like she did.
Yeah.
And that's it. So now it's our turn. It's our turn. And I know a lot of great candidates out there that will pick up that torch and move forward with it. And she will, gosh, I think she saved us for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's a
But
hero. She's a hero.
and I agree with you 100% that I was shocked, but again, I thought about it, and I know that just this year alone, there are so many impressive, strong, progressive leaders that are running, and I can't be more proud of my area, like the whole Pennsylvania, the whole state, for having those women. And that's just to show everyone out there, the same person that made it possible for RBG, her mom, her family, her community, her personality. That did not end with her. There is Nicole Miller, there is Michelle Seigel, there is so many other strong, Amanda, there is Shana Danielson. I mean, you pick, you guys, I think your only problem is, who to pick from. But we have many strong women leader out there, and we just have to give them a chance and to let them lead the way and fix, correct, and bring us. Unfortunately, I have to say, bring us back to the point that we can actually move forward. This is it's a sad thing, but it's the truth. So, I hope that everyone is listening to us right now is listening to what you have to say, and just you know what can we do as a community to heal? What can we do? I know you talked about healing, so I'm going to bring you back again in like the next maybe 10 minutes before we finish the show. How can we heal as a community, and how can we move forward and care about each other like before?
I think healing as a community starts with acceptance of our wrongs, right? Acceptance of what we have done in this country that has been wrong. That maybe not doing this day, but is still built into our systems. we know what we did. We took people from their homes and enslaved them here. And like it costs nothing to say this is what we did. This was wrong. And you know what? We're sorry, and let's move forward. Let's dismantle these injustices, this oppression that is hurting so many people that affect communities of color disproportionately everywhere, with climate control, with pollution, like just with law enforcement. We, like if you have a position of power, we can't let you abuse that power. And I don't believe it's all or no one. I think we have to stop making enemies out of people, and start just recognizing whatever differences there may be and the hardships and the hurt that was done. Own it and start to have those conversations, because it might not be my experience, but it was my son's experience, and I got to watch as a mother. So, like also sitting here as the daughter of a law enforcement agent, like I wanted both my son and my father to come home. But we know when things are wrong and when people are abusing positions of power, and it has to stop. It has to stop. People are being killed. People are dying. They are being, it has to stop, and we have to find some sort of peace and make it, own it, accept it, and move forward and heal. I believe that's the first step, is ownership.
Yeah. And we can't tiptoe around issues, and it doesn't matter what issues are we talking about. It's race or healthcare or education. We have to discuss it, and even if it makes us uncomfortable,
Absolutely.
about it, and like you said, heal and move forward, so we can have a society that welcome everyone and that treat everyone the same, and then expect from everyone to do their share, their community and their society.